comes the insurance. We shed, we rise. No more fat disguise. From dawn till dusk, feel the burn, no lies. Everywhere you live in, we rugged every ride.
They have all the mile marker statues on that end that you can take pictures with. It's the same ones I took at the expo, but it's dope that they brought them out here too. I'm in line to see Hades. Giant Baymax. You can take pictures in front of that. Got to take a picture with Big Baymax with the PhotoPass photographer. And then after this photo, hitting the corrals until it's time for a race start.
3, 2, 1,
Pride means so very much. That makes you a stronger person. That makes you a more resilient person. So those of you out there have that knot in your stomach, don't be afraid of what that is. Don't be embarrassed if that happens today. But those of you who are out there who can do this, the princesses, I want you to put it in your head. I am, I can, I will, I do, okay?
Wanna ride a rise and shine, gotta hit the gym in time. Sweat and grind, I feel alive. Shed myself, I start to thrive. Weights and reps, I push through pain. Every drop a sign of gain. Breath by breath, my goals align. Step by step, the mountain climb. Share yourself, let go of doubt. Push the limits, screaming out. Stronger, faster, feel the heat. Victory's a daily feat. Healthy meals fuel the way. Fresh and bright, a brand new day. Heart and mind both on the mend. New horizons, no pretend. Share yourself, let go of doubt. Push the limits, screaming out. Stronger, faster, feel the heat.
So, I'm back at the hotel room from the 10 miler. Let's talk about it. I'm not gonna beat around the bush with this. I got swept. I did not complete it. I did not make it to the finish line. I wanted to, and I could have if it was my given will, but unfortunately I was just way too slow, and the balloon ladies caught up to me and surpassed me, and so I was swept off the course. But I still wanted to talk about it because this is part of the journey. I told you I'm gonna be 100% transparent about everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm sharing on this channel. This is part of my journey. So early this morning when I got up for the race, I did have some anxiety. I did. I was very nervous, but I was still like, I'm gonna still show up. I done trained, I done spent money, I done did all this. I'm going to show up, and I'm going across that start line, and I'm gonna go as far as my body will allow me. Granted, when I did the 5K, I did develop like 3 blisters, 2 on my left, under my left foot, and 1 under my right. So Saturday, I spent all Saturday just resting, stretching, massaging, soaking, anything to get some relief off the inflammation from the 5K. And I did feel better. I started feeling a whole lot better by the time I went to bed. And even when I woke up, even though I still had butterflies and nerves, and I still, you know, I felt better. My legs felt good. Besides the blisters, my feet felt good, felt fine. My ankle has not given me problems the entire time. And y'all know the story behind me breaking my ankle and last year, and then during training this year for this race, how my ankle started acting up. My ankle has not been an issue all weekend long. So I'm grateful for that. But anywho, got transportation, dropped me off at Epcot, where all the races start and end. And you know, they had characters there, so I took pictures with a couple of characters. I'll insert pictures at the end of this video. I'm not going to do the in-between chopping and editing. This is just going to be raw. I ain't editing shit out. So y'all just going to get everything raw, everything like. So I took pictures with Hades, Mrs. Incredible, Meg, and Groot was out there as well doing meet and greets. I skipped them because I wanted to be in the corrals early. Even though I'm in the last corral, I wanted to be closer to the front of that corral. That way I have enough buffer between me and the balloon ladies. And just so y'all know, the balloon ladies are the nicest, kindest women out there. They're not the villains. They're not the bad guys. They are just keeping the pace. They're keeping the pace of all these races. They're volunteers. They don't get paid to do this. They pay registration to do this. But they keep the pace of the 16-minute per mile requirement. And so that way nobody gets left behind, and they could open the roads back up at a decent amount of time for these long distance races. But anywho, did the whole pre-production show, got in the corrals early, was closer to the front of the corrals of Corral F, and you know, enjoying the music, enjoying the DJs, enjoying all the hosts, the race hosts, you know, just getting in the vibe. The energy was wonderful, and my anxiety, even though it was still there, it was kind of subsiding. I was like, okay, I got this, I can do this. Like I said, the energy was there. It was a beautiful, wonderful atmosphere, as only Run Disney races are. And, you know, each corral, as they go out, before they go out, the hosts will interview a couple of people in the crowd, given the time, and they'll ask them questions like, why did you start running? Why Run Disney? Is this your first time doing it? Stuff like that. They basically say, what's your story? And so the whole time from the first corrals up, you know, I'm hearing all these wonderful stories, these inspirational stories, these loving stories, just amazing, you know, people who survived cancer, people who, you know, families got them into it for fitness and health, people running for their kids or their loved ones. It was just beautiful. And then we got to, I think I was like the second wave of Corral F, and I'm just sitting there vibing, getting ready for the start line. And the host came straight to me, and I'm like, oh shit. And he was like, well, tell me your story. He asked me my name and tell me your story. And I got so nervous and I panicked that I gave them my dead name, which I don't care. As a trans man, I'm 35, about to be 36. Until I legally get my name changed with the government, it is what it is. It was on my race bib, so I'm not offended, but I did panic. I panicked, and instead of saying Elias or Prince, I said my given name, my old name, and it was fine. I just basically, I told him my story. I was honest. I was like, look, I've been doing Run Disney, because he asked me, was Run Disney, is this my first Run Disney race? I was like, no, I've been doing Run Disney races for a while, but I stopped doing them after 2018, the Wine and Dine Half Marathon, when I got swept, because I felt discouraged, and I just stopped doing them. And I basically said, you know, I'm back to redeem myself, which is true. I'm back to redeem myself, to prove to myself that I could do this, that I could really go the distance, no pun intended. And everybody was cheering me on, all the hosts, the race announcers, Carissa and them, everybody, shout out to them. They started encouraging me, give me words of encouragement. I got some of the speech that Carissa did on video on my camera, and I might insert it at the end of this, but it was just really, really good words of encouragement. And throughout in the end, they did the fireworks and we were off. And I started doing my run walk intervals. I was running. Now I've been training to run like 15 seconds and walk 30 seconds. But I was and that's what I was doing. I was sticking to 15:30. And for the first mile, thank God the first mile is the exact same. All the races, the 5K and stuff, so I was familiar, and I was like, so mentally in my head, I'm like, just if I can get to mile 1, then I could get to mile 2. I literally took it 1 mile at a time, 1 step at a time. So I was like, if I can get to, because before you get to mile 1, there's a DJ on a truck, sitting on the truck, dancing and cheering us on. And so I was like, if I could get to the DJ, then I could get to mile 1. If I can get to mile 1, then I could get to mile 2. And that's what I was mentally doing myself. And throughout that entire process, as I'm going, so many people who heard my story, my interview before the race, started encouraging me, giving me high fives, patting me on the back, saying, you got this, you can do this. And it was beautiful. It was amazing. And that kind of pushed me. It did. It pushed me further along. I don't think I would have made as far as I did without this community, the Run Disney community, the people who really had stuck up for me and really encouraged me and gave me affirmations while I was going. So I made it to mile 1. But the route to mile 2 was different from the 5K because, you got to go longer distances. So I was like, I made it to mile 1 to get me to mile 2. Now, the way the 10 miler goes, you go a little bit through Epcot, and then you go to the boardwalk. And for those who know, the boardwalk is a bunch of restaurants. It's a couple of hotels, stuff like that. But it leads to Disney's Hollywood Studios. And I was like, if I can make it all the way through boardwalk, then I can make it to studios. If I can make it to studios, I can make it back to Epcot. So I just kept mentally telling myself baby steps. And I was still doing my run walk intervals. And then every time we went up a hill, I did slow down. But every time we went down a hill, I took off. I booked it. And that did give me a lot of leeway and a lot of time. So eventually I made it to mile 2. And I didn't stop for any characters. I saw the characters, but I did not stop. And I really didn't record much on my vlogs because I was just focused on the running. I was just in the moment. And so got to mile 2. I was like, just get me through. If I can make it through boardwalk, I get to studios. Just get me to studios. But before, the boardwalk is a long trail itself, but then you have to take another walking trail past the Swan and Dolphin. That's another big Disney resort or Disney affiliate resort. So I was like, give me the Swan and Dolphin. And, closer to mile 3. And so eventually, as going past Swan and Dolphins, the balloon ladies did catch up to me. And mind you, the balloon ladies don't run. They walk. They power walk the entire race. They keep that pace the entire race, power walking. They do not run at all. They don't do their run walk intervals. And so they walked past me, but they did give me words of encouragement. They was like, you got this, keep going, just keep up with us. Just keep up with us. Just walk with us. They were so nice. Like I said, those women they're not the bad guys. They really want everybody to make it. So they were encouraging me. Other people around were encouraging me, but I was just too slow. And then my blisters was really hurting, but I was pushing through. I was pushing past the pain. I was like, I can do this. I will worry about the blisters later. I can do this. I almost made it to mile 3. I was so close. My watch says that I hit 3 miles, but the watches and the official race, they vary, but I almost made it to that mile 3 marker, and the balloon ladies were just way too far. I couldn't keep up. Even when I tried running or jogging, I couldn't keep up. So security, the health medics, the people on bikes, they were nice. They were so sweet. And they were like, because you're behind, we could pick you up at any moment. He was like, at a certain point, I'm just going to have to pick you up off the course because we have to reopen the roads. And I was like, okay, well, just let me get a few more steps in. Let me please get a few more steps in. He did. He let me get a few more steps in. And, I made 3 miles. Not quite a 5K. It wasn't 3.1, but I made 3 miles. And then I got on the bus. They took us to the drop off back to the finish line, to the medical tents and stuff. And once you get off the bus, they still give you your medal. So I got my medal. They still give you the medal. And they still give you like the Powerades and the juice bar. They give you everything that they would give the people who crossed the finish line. So, and they were so encouraging, still cheering us on. I wasn't the only one that got swept. It was like 5 of us. For various reasons. Some people got hurt. Some people just couldn't do it. They just, but I really believe, I really do believe I could have finished if I wasn't just so slow. Because I was pushing past the pain to the point to where I didn't even notice the pain. I didn't notice the pain until I sat down on the bus and I stopped moving. That's when the pain really just kicked in. Yeah, I got swept, but this isn't the end. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up on myself. I'm not giving up on the journey of Shed Yourself. I'm going to continue. I just got to pivot. I know I really wanted to do that half marathon in January. I really wanted to do that. That's been a big goal of mine. And then eventually to do the marathon. But I just don't think it's possible at this weight. I got to lose more weight first. I don't think I have it in me to carry all this baggage, this physical baggage, all this fat to complete those. So I'm gonna pivot. I'm going to pivot and just do the 10K in January because I signed up for the 10K for a charity as well as the half. But I'm just going to let that charity know, just give my bib to someone else. I'm not going to do the half. I've been holding this crying. I teared up a little bit when I called my mom to let her know what happened, but I've been holding this in. And I went to the pool. Once I got back to the hotel, I went to the pool with my sisters and my nephew, and we had a great time just laughing. They were telling me I did a great job regardless, and everything, everything's been positive. Everything has been positive, but now sitting here on this camera, recapping and retelling the story is just, now the emotions are coming out. I really thought I could do this. I trained for this. I trained for this. Everything that I thought could stop me from doing this did not happen. My ankle didn't stop me. My back didn't stop me. My back didn't hurt at all. All through training, I was going through back pain. But, running around the zoo and over the park and on the treadmill at the gym, my back didn't hurt not once this whole trip. It didn't hurt during the 5K, and it didn't hurt this morning during the 10-mile race. So everything that I thought, I didn't chafe. I didn't get no chafing. I did everything right by the books. Everything that all the experts say that you should do. Don't wear anything brand new. Stick with what you've been training in. Always have preventative measures. I did everything right, and still it wasn't enough. But I'm not giving up. I'm allowing myself to feel the emotions. I'm allowing myself to let the emotions out. But when I get back home, it's back on the grind. It's back on the grind. This isn't it. This isn't it for me. I'm not stopping. I'm not giving up on that marathon and half marathon dream because I've done it before. I've done a half marathon before. I know I can do it. I just wasn't this fat back then, and I gotta change. Anyways, I'm not gonna sit here and cry long on this camera. I just had to let this out and keep it, like I said, I'm being transparent with y'all. Good, bad, and ugly, no matter what. I'm sharing my journey with y'all. That's why I started this whole vlog channel, Shed Yourself. I'm shedding everything that's been holding me back. And like I said, I did a great job. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of that 5K. That 5K was so hard. And I'm proud of the 3 miles I was able to do this morning. It was so hard. I earned everything. I earned all this shit, the pain, the fun, the excitement, the great times, the encouragement, the new friends I've made down here. I've earned this shit. This isn't the end. Like I said, when I get back home, I'm gonna rest. I'm gonna let these blisters heal, and I'm gonna, recover. I'm gonna work on my recovery, but I'm getting back to it. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. I'll be back. I will redeem myself. Even if I gotta take baby steps. I'm gonna start with the 10K. That's just 6 miles. I've done that 1,000 times. I know I can do it. And I might have to do a couple of 10Ks. I might have to do 5, 6, 7 10Ks, but I'm going to fucking do that half marathon one day. And that marathon, I'm not going to get swept again. I refuse. I refuse to ever go through that again. But anywho's, thank you to everybody. If anybody stumbled across this video and you were down here during this weekend, thank you to everybody. Thank you to the race hosts, the MCs, the people in the corrals, the people on the course who kept encouraging me. I want to thank my family and friends who followed this entire journey online and supported me and gave me words of encouragement during training, during this weekend, after. I thank everybody. I really could not have done this alone. I just gotta grieve this, release it, and get back to work, get back on the grind. But anyways, I did get my medal, and I'm gonna show it off. I'm proud of this medal. Even if I only did 3 out of the 10, I'm fucking proud of this medal. So I'm gonna show y'all. It's the Incredibles Springtime Surprise 10 miler. So I'm not ashamed. I'm so fucking proud of this. Like I said, I earned this, just like I earned this 5K. And the team Fired Up, I earned these medals. This was an amazing weekend. This was so much fun, and I'm so happy to be back to long distance running. But like I said, I just gotta pivot. So that is it for this video. I'll be back next week. I don't know what order all these springtime surprise videos will drop, but after all these videos drop, I will be back on the grind. I will be back because we have to begin training for marathon weekend in January, which, like I said, I'm just going to do the 10K. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that half. But yeah, I think just focusing on one race at a time is the best bet for me, at least until I lose this weight and get some of this weight off of me, because I was a lot smaller when I did my first half marathon and I didn't get swept in that. So I just got to work with what I got until I get to the dreams that I want to get. But anywho, I'm your host, Prince Elias. This is Shed Yourself Vlogs. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Calories burn, muscle churn, feel the heat. Daily grind on cam, seeing the pounds deplete. Treadmill marathon got me building endurance. Life's a competition, so here comes the insurance. Calories burn, muscle churn, feel the heat. Daily grind on cam, seeing the pounds deplete. Treadmill marathon got me building endurance. Life's a competition, so here comes the insurance. We shed, we ride.